Hello, dear colleagues and educators. My name is Elena Gubockina, and I am a piano teacher at Children's School of Arts No. 1 in the city of Tchaikovsky, Perm Krai. For the past 4 years in my practice, I have been using the computer-based educational program Soft Mozart with beginners to teach them music notation and to develop their sight reading skills. I am also a certified teacher of this system and have studied directly under the method's creator, Helen Heiner. Today, I am authorized not only to teach using this program and apply it in my own class, but also to train teachers who wish to work with this new method, to consult them on theoretical and practical issues, and to prepare them for certification. Since the theoretical material for teacher training in the Heiner method is now publicly available, and anyone interested can read it, get a feel for it, and try it on for themselves, I have also gained the opportunity to use my YouTube channel to broadcast, explain, illustrate, and clarify the theoretical material that I previously shared only with Soft Mozart trainee teachers. The educational computer program Soft Mozart and its potential for teaching children music in the 21st century. The materials I relied on when creating this video include the text of Helen Heiner's presentation at the International Conference on Psychology, Language, and Education in Oxford in September 2018. So, Helen Heiner, or actually Yelena Vladimirovna Nikolaeva, was born in the USSR, graduated from the Music College in Zhytomyr as a pianist, and from the Kharkiv Conservatory as a music theorist. She immigrated to the USA in 1993, where she worked as a music teacher at the Maria Montessori School. There, she also conducts extensive research on the issue of musical notation perception in children of different ages. During her research, she makes a patented discovery, the vertical musical staff, which, in 2018, was named the Discovery of the Century in Music Science at a Scientific Achievements exhibition. Based on this discovery, Helen Heiner develops a teaching method, and a few years later, she computerizes it and creates the program Soft Mozart. Helen is also the director of the company Doremi Facesoft, which received approval from the State Commission of the Ministry of Education as a certified institution for the professional development of music specialists. To this day, the Soft Mozart Academy is the only music school that guarantees a 100% result in teaching music and musical literacy to any beginner from 2 to 100 years old. It is suitable both for working with gifted children and with children who have special needs. Moreover, this is the only music project in the world that, without any prior arrangement, has been approved by leading schools around the globe, such as Oxford, the Moscow Conservatory, the Herzl Institute in St. Petersburg, the Madrid Conservatory, and other educational institutions worldwide. Today, in the scientific community, this project has made an impression like a bomb going off, and dissertations and research studies are now being written on this topic. Helen Heiner collaborates with scientists such as Irina Borisovna Borbinova. She is the chief research associate and a specialist in the educational field of musical computer technologies at the Herzl State Pedagogical University of Russia. She also collaborates with Mikhail Sergeyevich Zalividny, who is a senior research associate at the St. Petersburg State Conservatory named after Nikolai Andreevich Rimsky-Korsakov. The program is used in 60 countries around the world. These include schools, studios, and homeschooling. Unfortunately, the existing old business industry of music education does everything possible to make sure you never hear about this project. And it's all about the money. Most course creators have already invested in the old, ineffective approach and will hold on to it for as long as they can. It's up to you to decide whether you want to keep using their materials or not. On the right, you can see statistics from music publishers. It shows that for every 100 books published for the first year of study, music publishers release only 10 for the second year and just 1 for the third. So you see, the main income for music publishers comes from beginner materials. Of course, there's no single method, no universal solution has been found. And teachers, they're always searching, keeping their finger on the pulse. We do our best for our students, constantly buying new materials, always looking for something fresh, something that actually works. That's exactly why, for now, the choice is left up to individual dedicated teachers or individual schools. Whether you keep working the way you always have, or try a different approach, it's entirely up to us. The formula for effective music education depends on how quickly a beginner can put together 1 + 1 + 1 in their mind, where the first one is the sound, the key. The second is the symbol, the note. And the third is duration. Notesound is a term introduced by Helen Heiner into music science, signifying the trinity, the indivisibility. All existing approaches to music education today teach you these 3 components of a note separately from each other. A common question teachers ask me is, how did we learn then? The answer is simple, despite the existing system. You know, not everyone died from the plague either. And it's very telling that music school teachers are very gifted people, passionate people. In our demanding profession, there are absolutely no extra people, because the current rigorous system simply weeds out everyone who genuinely cannot learn, and everyone who truly cannot rely on their natural, inherent abilities. Our task today is to learn how to teach every student who comes into our classroom to find such ways, to find such teaching methods that would work with any student, with any abilities. Otherwise, we have no right to call ourselves teachers. If our methods only work with 10% of students, statistically, 10% are talented, capable children. Then, in principle, music pedagogy does not exist and cannot exist. Because, as you know, talented and capable children can learn on their own. They are ready for self-learning and self-education. And for such children, it doesn't matter which teacher you assign, they will still learn and take everything they want, everything they need. He will learn on his own. So, the main problem of music education is the splitting of a note into its 3 components, symbol, sound, and duration. That is why, if you go into any teacher's classroom, you will start studying theory separately from practice. If a lesson starts, say, with rhythm or memorizing the placement of notes on the staff, that's theory, separate from practice. If a lesson starts with playing by ear, which basically comes down to memorizing from the teacher's hands, that's practice, separate from theory. There are plenty of tricks to get a student to play without sheet music. Here are some of them. The most officially accepted trick is fingering. All beginner textbooks, where each finger is assigned to a specific key, are designed precisely to make students play relying on muscle memory. But at least here, the teacher is watching to make sure the student's wrists stay rounded. There's an even worse method, which also relies on muscle memory, using color. Yes, this method does let you learn a couple of pieces a bit faster. But all of this is only within the range of an octave, or even just 5 notes. In reality, neither of these approaches can teach music literacy effectively. In the Helen Heiner method, learning to read music doesn't depend on mechanical muscle memory. We have a unique document, A girl 4 years old who absolutely refused to play with the correct fingers. And her professional growth in the future. Please change your finger. Use a different finger, sweetheart, a different finger.
I really, truly want to do it very much at this moment.
All right. Say the notes.